Hey YouTube, this is Jaden Storm coming at you from Team Shadow Strike, and I have another deck profile from you from set 14, and this one is going to be my Dauntless Dominant Drive deck. And this is another one of those decks that people were saying that, oh, this deck's terrible, blah blah blah. I honestly don't know why people think Dominant Dauntless is a terrible card. Guys, when I have all the stuff that I need, I'm going to have 3 fully built Kagro decks. I'm going to have the End, which will also become Rebirth. I'm going to have Vague, and I'm going to have this. Speaking of that, this, you might notice it's in the same sleeves that my Vague deck was in, and that's because I had to alter my Vague deck for this deck profile, because I still have my second set of Dauntless. If you have any Dauntless Drive Dragons that you do not want, I want them, so please go check out my trade binder. It is updated, and it should be close to, it'll actually be the very top video if you go to my video section. So it's there, and just tell me what you want. My trade binder is full of good stuff, so be sure to go check it out. So once I get 3 more Dauntless, guys, I'll have 3 fully built Kagro decks, because Kagro is my second favorite clan to play. Plus it's dragons. Who doesn't love dragons? So anyway, let's jump straight into this deck profile. My starter is Red Pulse Draco Kid. I freaking love this card. I just think the dragon art design is really cool, and I love all of his flavor texts. I think there's like 4 different ones. This one says, "I'm a warrior, touch me and you could be burned," which is really cool. He's basically the grade 3 searcher for Kagro. Counterblast 1, move him into the soul, and you get to look at the top 5 for at grade 3. For triggers, we play 4 Blu-ray Draco Kid and 4 Lizard Soldier Gora. Finally, we no longer have to use the embodiment of Spear Tar. I just think this guy looks so much cooler. I prefer actual dragons over a dragon man, I guess. Then 4 copies of Sealed Dragon Art Peak. This is basically the Margle of the deck, which I think it's the best draw trigger that Kagro has, minus Gatling Claw. And you can play Gatling Claw if you want. It's just, I think Gatling Claw is better in the End, and this is better in Dauntless Dominant. Went blank there for a second. That's just my opinion. And then for the heal trigger, and the only heal trigger that I will ever use in any Kagro deck for the rest of my life, is the very beautiful and gorgeous Dragon Dancer Barbara. This artwork is amazing. I am so glad this heal trigger is here and we can stop using Gojo. I think that is the only human left in this deck, minus 1. So here, for my grade 1s, the first one is we play 4 copies of Wyvern Guard Baree. I was able to pick up a second set of Baree, which really made me happy. I don't like Rhino Cross. I've never been a real big fan of the Seal Dragons. That's just me. So for and my Marias, they belong in Vague. So I wanted a second set of Baree for my Dauntless Dominant deck, so I was very, very glad I was able to get another playset of that. For the rest of my grade 1s, I play 3 Embodiment of Armor Bar, just a good solid 8k. I don't use the 10k attacker for Dauntless in this deck. I really just don't think it's needed. You definitely can play it if you want, though. And then for the rest of my grade 1s, I play 3 Dragon Monk Gojo. This is pretty much a staple in any Kagro deck, guys. Any Kagro deck should be mating to at least 3, if not 4 Gojo. And then for the rest of my grade 1s, I play 2 copies of Calamity Tower Wyvern. Glad this card's out now. It's basically Soul Blast 2, draw 1. Very, very good card for Kagro. And then for my 1 tech of the deck, I play 2 copies of Breath of Origin Rolamandre. This is the self-damager for Kagro. I like this just because, say you have some triggers in the damage zone that you'd rather have in the deck, or maybe that perfect guard, or maybe that grade 2 or 1, or just a key card that you want later in the game, you can counterblast that card, self-damage yourself, and then put it back in the deck. So you can use this to recycle cards you'd rather use. Key cards, heal triggers, just really, really good card. I really like the self-damagers. That's just me. Grade 2s. We play 4 copies of Dominant Drive Dragon. This is the 12k attacker for Dauntless Drive Drag, for any Dauntless Vanguard. That's a grade 3. So really, really cool card. Well, I guess also if you, well, no. Really? Nope, it has to be a grade 3, because I just thought sometimes it can work if the grade 2 has the key word in the name, but he doesn't. It's not like Liberator Fallon, but yeah, if you have a grade 3 Dauntless as your Vanguard, he's your 12k attacker. For the rest of the grade 2s, I play three Sealed Dragon Hunger Hell Dragon. I don't play Nahalem in any other deck besides Dragonic Overlord variant decks, like Dragonic Overlord The End or Dragonic Overlord The Rebirth. I only play Nahalem in those decks. Every other deck, you get Hunger Hell. 2 copies of Berserk Dragon, just a good key card to help pick off pesky intercepts or key front row units like 12k attackers your opponent might have, or a booster. And then I play 2 Belskosity, just to have another pressure card, because your opponent normally does not want you to unflip your damage. And then for the grade 3s, we play 4 copies of Dauntless Drive Dragon. This is one of the best break rides in the game, period, and one of the coolest looking cards ever. His ability is Limit Break. When a Kagero rides this unit, choose your Vanguard till the end of the turn. That unit gets plus 10,000 power and a new skill. And that skill is whenever the unit that rides over Dauntless attacks the Vanguard, I might add, attacks the Vanguard. After the battle where the unit that rode over Dauntless attacked the Vanguard, you may discard 3 cards from your hand and re-stand that unit. It does not have to hit, which makes Dauntless so good, because when he very first came out, he gave Dragonic Overlord The End a guaranteed second attack. So he can do that for any Kagero unit. Basically, you just ride over him, gain plus 10k, attack, discard 3, stand back up, second attack. Dauntless is just so consistent, such a good card. And his second skill is when this unit attacks, if the number of rear guards you have is more than your opponent, he attacks for 13. And then the boss of the deck. So glad I finally have this deck done, and specifically this card. 4 Dauntless Dominant Dragon Reverse. And one of the coolest arts. I love how you can see his wings, and they curl down here, and you can even see him behind in the fade part of the text. So let me read this card to you. His ability is Limit Break. Counterblast 1 and choose one of your Kagero rear guards and lock it. Until the end of the turn, this unit gets this skill. When this unit's drive check reveals a grade 1 or greater Kagero unit, choose up to one of your opponent's grade 1 or less rear guards and retire it. And this unit gets plus 3,000 until the end of turn. So let me explain everything that happens to you here. Oh, and also when Dauntless is in the soul, he's a 13k Vanguard, but duh. So Break Ride, plus 10,000, so he's 23 by himself. Attack, you get 2 twin drives. This is like a better form of Ethics Buster Extreme. You're either going to drive check a trigger and gain some sort of ability. You're either going to heal, draw, or crit, or you're going to drive check anything else, and you're going to gain plus 3k instantly, and have the opportunity to pop a grade 1 unit if there's one present. If there's not, you still get the 3k boost. So this card makes your opponent have to guard for an additional 6k at least every single time. That's why this card is so deadly. One thing the reason Gojo plays so well in this deck, you have to lock one of your units with his ability. It doesn't say it has to be standing. The reason I like Gojo is, say you have Gojo boosting your Vanguard, or over here. You can use his ability to drop a dead card in your hand and draw for something else. Like if you have a 5k shield or an extra grade 3, you can use Gojo before you do anything, rest, drop that card, and draw. Then you can lock it to pay for his ability. That's why I like Dauntless Dominant so much. It just says lock a Kagero unit. That's it. It doesn't say the unit has to be standing. It doesn't say it has to be a dominant card. It just has to be a Kagero unit. So that means basically any grade 3 in the deck. I mean any Kagero unit in the deck. I don't understand why people think this card is so bad. I mean, guys, when I went to Houston and played in the Team League Invasion, if this guy was legal, this is probably what I would have played. I mean, I love Chaos Breaker to death, but this thing, it would have let me rephrase that. I probably still would have went with this because Ezel would have been a thing. But this thing is so stupid, guys. I really don't understand why people hate on Dominant Dauntless. I can't wait to start playing with this deck and just start making people believers. So anyway, guys, this is my Dauntless Dominant deck. A deck I'm very glad I finally now have. And God, he is just so badass. A black and red dragon. I mean, I don't know what is more badass than that. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Feel free in the comment section below to leave your comments, your suggestions, your thoughts on the deck. I always like to read your comments. If you leave something, guys, I read it from top to bottom. Be sure to thumbs up this video. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. I do deck profiles, discussions, trade binders, random rants, all kinds of fun things. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Please be sure to thumbs up this video and like it for me and tell me why you enjoyed it or why you didn't enjoy it in the comment section below so I can continue to make my videos as best I can so you can enjoy them. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you later.